Good day, students. Welcome to your mathematics class for today. Our topic is percentages. The lesson objectives. By the end of the lesson, students will be able to 1. Express a quantity as a fraction or percentage of another quantity. 2. Convert fractions to percentages and vice versa. And 3. Solve word problems involving fractions and percentages. Our lesson materials are our textbooks, the 3 textbooks that we normally use. The content. Introduction. Percentage is a fraction with a denominator 100. The symbol of percentage is as written. Percent means out of 100 or hundreds or in every 100 or per 100. So 100% means 100 over 100, which is 1. 53% means 53 out of 100. So how do we convert percentages to fractions? To do this, divide the number by 100, then reduce to lowest 10 if necessary. For examples, convert the following percentages to fraction in their simplest form. I 36%, II 17.8%, III 25.25%, IV 350%. 36%. This is the same thing as 36 over 100, meaning 36 out of 100 or 36 per 100. The denominator is 100. So when you reduce it to lowest term, you will have 18 over 50 and finally 9 over 25. What it means is to convert 36% to fraction in its simplest form means 17.8%. This is the same thing as 17.8 over 100, which is equal to 178 over 1000. That is, we move this decimal point to make the numerator whole number. We'll move this decimal point one place to the right, and we will do the same to the denominator. The decimal point is assumed to be after 100, so you add just one extra 0. That gives us 178 over 1000. If you reduce to lowest term, you will have 89 over 500. Number 3, 25.25%. Make 25.25 an improper fraction. That will give us 101 over 4 times 100, giving us 400. And nothing can cancel, so it is already in its simplest form. So 25.25% is equal to 101 over 400 converted to fraction. 4. 350%. 350% means 350 over 100. Reduced to lowest term, you will have 7 over 2, which is an improper fraction. So change it to mixed number, it will be 3.5. So students, all we have been looking at is how to convert a percentage to fraction in its simplest form. First step is change the percentage to a fraction by dividing the number by 100, then reduce to lowest term. We continue with the next subtopic, which is converting percentage to decimal. How do we convert percentages to decimals? To do that, to convert a percentage to a decimal, divide the number by 100. To convert a percentage to a decimal, just divide that number by 100. To divide a number by 100, move the decimal point 2 places to the left. When you are dividing, you move the decimal point 2 places to the left. But if you are multiplying, you move to the right. Examples. Convert the following percentages to decimals. Examples: I 30%, II 18.9%, III 16.5%, IV 0.19%, and V 18%. Solution. 30% is equal to 30 divided by 100. Remember, percent means per 100. 30 divided by 100. And to do that, you move the decimal point is assumed to be after 30. The decimal point is assumed to be after 30, that is after the 0. So you move it 2 places to the left. 2 places to the left, because you are dividing by 100. When you do that, you will have 0.30. You can leave it as 0.30 or 0.3. This 0 at the end of a decimal number does not have any value. I also want you to note that after decimal points, you pick the digits one by one. For example, 0.30, not 0.30. 0.30 and not 0.30. You pick the digits one by one. Hope you understand that. Example 2. 18.9%. That will mean 18.9 over 100. Remember that we are dividing by 100, so we move the decimal point 2 places to the right, to the left, 2 places to the left, and that will be 1 and 2, giving us 0.189. 0.189 and not 0.189. It is 0.189. Example 3. 16.5%. First of all, you change 16.5 to improper fraction. 16 times 2 gives you 32 plus 1 gives you 33 over 2 times the 100, which is percent. 33 over 2 times 100. Now, 33 over 200, when you reduce to lowest term, it will give you 0.165. Example 4. 0.19%. That will be 0.19 over 100. We will move the decimal point 2 places to the left, and that gives us 0.0019. 1/8%. Example 5. That is 1/8 divided by the percent, which is 100. And that will give us 1/800. And when you divide 1 by 800, by long division, you will have 0.00125. Students, I hope you are following in this conversion from decimal to percentage, or from percentage to fraction, or from percentage to decimals. We are moving to another topic, subtopic, which is converting fractions and decimals to percentages. Converting fractions and decimals to percentages. At this point, you're supposed to have noticed that there is a resemblance between fractions, decimals, and percentages. They are related. Fractions is part of, decimal is part of, percentage is part of. That is why you can change or convert from fraction to decimal, or from decimal to percentage, or vice versa. So in this subtopic, we are looking at converting fractions and decimals to percentages. How do we do that? To change a fraction or decimal to percentage, just multiply by 100. Multiply that number. If it is a fraction, for example, 1/4, change it to percentage, multiply it by 100. If it is a decimal, for example, 0.3, convert it to percentage, multiply by 100. Let's look at examples. Examples. Express the followings to percentages. 1, 3/8, 2, 1/40, 3, 7/8, 4, 0.3, 5, 0.03, and 6, 0.83 recurring. Solutions. So as introduced, when you are converting a fraction or a decimal to percentage, just multiply by 100. So 3/4 times 100/1. That will simply give us 75%. 1/40 times 100. That will give us 5/2 when reduced to its simplest term, giving us 2.5%. 7/8 times 100, when you reduce to its lowest term, will give you 175/2, which is equal to 87.5%. 0.83 recurring. This is equal to 0.833333. 3 is repeating itself. 3 is recurring. So you can take any number of the 3's. So here I've taken 0.8333 times 100, giving me 83.3%. Our next subtopic is comparing fractions, decimals, and percentages. Students, recall that fraction is a type of decimal and is a type of percentage. So we can compare their values. How do we do that? To compare fractions, decimals, and fractions and percentages, it is advisable to convert all the numbers to percentages or decimals. Anyone you choose. You can even convert to fractions, but they will be at the same thing. So, let's look at examples. Express the following in ascending order. Students, recall arranging fractions or numbers in order of magnitude. Arranging in order of magnitude means you can arrange in ascending order, which is from the lowest to the highest, from the smallest value to the highest value. In descending order, it is from the highest to the lowest, or the biggest to the smallest. So let us look at these examples. Example 1, we have a mixture of fraction, percentage, decimal, but we are asked to arrange them in ascending order of magnitude. This example says 15 over 100, 0.17, 3 over 16, 15.5%, 0.152, and 1/6. And what we are going to do is to put them in the same way, either as decimals or as percentages. So 3 over 10, 34.45, that's a second example expressed in descending order. So in this solution for question number 1, we are converting all the fractions, percentages, decimals, all to percentages to look for their value. So 15 over 100 is 15 over 100 times 100 over 1 to convert to percentages, and that gives us 15%. 0.17 is equal to 17 over 100 times 100 over 1, which is 17%. 3 over 16 is equal to 3 over 16 times 100 over 1, which is equal to 18.75%. 15.5% is the same thing as 155 over 1000 times 100 over 1, which is 15.5%. 0.152 is the same thing as 152 over 1000 times 100. I hope you know where we got 1000. 152, we have the decimal point is our 1. Then we have 3 digits, and that's the 3 zeros. That's how we got 152 over 1000 times 100 over 1, because we are converting it to percentages. That gives us 15.15%. 1/6 is the same thing as 1 over 6 times 100 over 1, giving us 50 over 3 equal to 16.2%. Now that we have converted all the numbers to percentages, whether they are fractions or decimals or percentage, they are now all in percentage. But we have been asked, the question says, we should arrange in order of magnitude, ascending order. So that now gives us that the lowest is 15 over 100, followed by 0.152, followed by 15.5, and by 1/6, then 0.17, and finally 3 over 16. So the lowest is 15 over 100, while the largest is 3 over 16 in that question. Example 2. 3 over 10 is 30%. 34.4% is 34.4%. We are changing, converting to percentages. 0.21 will give us 21%. 2 over 5 will give us 40%. 0.3 recurring. This is, remember that when you have this dot on top of a digit, it means that that digit is recurring or is repeating. So this means 0.33333, etc., giving us 33 over 100 times 100 over 1, which is 33.3%. So to arrange in descending order, you find out that the highest is 2 over 5, then 34.4, then 0.3 recurring, 3 over 10, and 0.21. Students, our next subtopic is finding the percentage of a quantity. Percentage of a quantity. To find the percentage of a quantity, multiply the quantity by the percentage. If the question says find the percentage of 2 kilometers, a particular given percentage, you just multiply that percentage by the 2 kilometers. Let's look at examples. Find the followings: 90% of 270 kg, 4.4% of 180, 10.15% of 500 naira. Solutions. 90% of 270 is 90 over 100 times 270 kilograms. When you reduce to lowest term, you will have 9 times 27, giving us 243 kilograms. Example 2, 4.4% of 180. This means 4.4 over 100, which is the same thing as 44 over 1,000. 4.4% is 44 over 1,000 times 180. Reduced to lowest term, you will have 7.92. Example 3, 10.15% of 500 naira will give us, convert 10.15 to improper fraction, you will have 51 over 5 times 100, which is 500 times 500 naira. Reduce, you will have 51 naira. Example 4. A woman took 300 oranges to the market to sell. She was unable to sell 15% of them. How many oranges did she sell? Solution. We'll first of all find 15% of 300 oranges. And that will be 15 over 100 times 300 over 1, giving us 45 oranges that were not sold. So if 45 oranges were not sold, how many did she sell? So number of oranges sold will be 300 minus 45, giving us 255 oranges. Example 5. There are 800 pupils in a school. If 45% of them are girls, how many boys are in the school? Solution. In this type of question, you can start from anywhere. 45% of the students are girls. How many are boys? So you can find the percentage of the boys. Or you find the number of girls and subtract from the total number of pupils. So in this solution, find the number of girls in the school. And that is 45 over 100 times 800 over 1, giving us 360 girls. The number of boys will be 800 minus 360 equals to 440 boys. Okay, students, recall all we have been looking at, conversions from fraction to percentage or vice versa, or finding one quantity as a percentage of another, or arranging in order of magnitude. I just hope you are following. Do you have any question? Okay. Let's look at the next subtopic, expressing one quantity as a percentage of another. To express one quantity as a percentage of another, first make the quantities to be in the same unit. Then express the first quantity as a fraction of the second, finally multiply by 100. Examples. Express the first quantity as a percentage of the second. 1. 400 grams as a percentage of 1 kilogram. 2. 25 meters as a percentage of 1 kilometer. And 3. 500 meters as a percentage of 10 kilometers. Solution. Please, 1 kilogram is equal to 1,000 grams. So to express 400 grams as a percentage of 1 kilogram, it means 400 over 1,000, because 1 kilogram is equal to 1,000 grams times 100 over 1. When you reduce to lowest term, you will have 40%. Question number 2. 1 kilometer is equal to 1,000 meters. So, to express 255 meters as a percentage of 1,000 meters, which is equal to 1 kilometer, is multiplied by 100. Reduce to lowest term, you will have 2.5%. 3. 500 meters as a percentage of 10 kilometers. 10 kilometers will be 10,000 meters. So it's 500 over 10,000 times 100 over 1. Reduce to lowest term, you will have 5%. Question number 4. Out of 30 teachers in a school, 12 are females. A. What is this as a percentage? B. What percentage of the teachers are males? Solution. A. Percentage of the female teachers will be the number of female teachers, 12, over the total number of teachers, 30. That is 12 over 30 times 100, giving us 40%. That is question number 1. B says, find the percentage of the male teachers. That will be 100, which is total, minus 40, giving us 60%. Alternatively, we will just find the number of male teachers by subtracting the number of female teachers from the number of teachers in the school. 30 minus 12 will give us 18 male teachers. So 18 male teachers over number of teachers, which is 30, times 100 over 1 will still give us 60%. Question number 5. A piece of elastic is 48 centimeters long. It is stretched to a length of 60 centimeters. A. What is the increase in length? B. What percentage of the original length is this increase? Solution. A. Increase in length will be the new length minus the original. And that will give us 60 minus 48, giving us 12 centimeters. B, percentage of the increase in length is equal to the increase, which is 12, over the new length, which is 60. 12 over 60 times 100 over 1. When you reduce to lowest term, you will have 20%. Okay, students, we've come to the end of today's lesson. But before we round up, let us look at all we discussed in form of evaluation. So number 1, convert the followings to percentages. A, 176 over 300, and B, 2 over 15. Number 2, convert the followings to decimals. A, 0.9%, B, 87.25%. 3, convert the followings to percentages. 3 over 50, B, 0.375. Number 4, put the following numbers in ascending order. 35 over 100, 0.32, 3 over 8, 32.6%, 0.323, and 5 over 16. Number 5, a man earns 2,500 naira in a month and he spends 18% of this amount on house rent. How much does he spend on house rent? Number 6, a student obtained 40.5 marks out of 50. What percentage is this? Number 7, in a box of 200 oranges, 18 are bad. What percentage is good? Now, let's look at the solution to these questions. Number 1, convert the followings to percentage. Just recall that when you are converting a fraction to percentage, you multiply the fraction by 100. So when you do the multiplication, 176 over 300 times 100 over 1 will give you 58 2 over 3%. B, 2 over 15 times 100 over 1 will give us 40 over 3, which is equal to 13.3%. Number 2, convert the following to decimals. 0.9%, B, 87.25%. So 0.9% is 9 over 1,000, which is 0.009. B, 87.25%. That will give us 349 over 400. And when you divide this, you will have 0.8725. Question number 3, convert the followings to percentages. A, 3 over 50 times 100 over 1 will give us 6%. And B, 0.375 is 375 over 1,000 times 100 over 1. That will give us 37.5%. Number 4, put the following numbers in ascending order. So remember that the way to do this is to convert all the numbers to percentages. And to do that, you multiply by 100. So 35 over 100 will give us 35%. 0.32 will give us 32%. 3 over 8 will give us 37.5%. Then 32.6% is already in percentage. 0.323 will give us 32.3%. 5 over 16 will give us 31.25%. So in our ascending order, we check all the values already converted to percentages, and we start from the lowest to the highest, and that will be 5 over 16, 0.32, 0.323, 32.6%, 35 over 100, and 3 over 8. Number 5, the amount spent on rent will be 18% of the total earning. That would be 450 naira. Then number 6, total mark is 50. Mark obtained by the student is 40.5. So the percentage will be mark obtained over total mark times 100 over 1. And that will be 40.5 over 50 times 100 over 1, giving us 81%. Finally, number 7, total number of oranges is equal to 200. Number of bad oranges, 18. So, number of good oranges will be the total number of oranges, 200, minus the number that is bad, which is 18. Subtract that from the total, giving us 182 oranges. So, percentage of good oranges will be 182 over 200 times 100 over 1. That gives us 91%. So that's the end of the lesson. But before the next lesson, I expect you to turn in this evaluation. Thank you very much.